way, shape, or form as I prepared for my first trip to Africa, I had a romanticized idea of the land and the people. When I departed Los Angeles for Senegal, West Africa, all I had was a piece of paper with the name of a family, address, and phone number. My total time flying was more than 13 hours on the plane. When I arrived in Senegal, I was met at the airport by several young men of the Sissoko family, Sankum, Musa, Sadio, and many of their friends. The further we moved away from the airport, the darker the surroundings became. The first thing I noticed was that there were no street lights. It was pitch black, with only the headlamps of the car illuminating the roadway. This was the very beginning of my journey. You are going to be reading from two sections of my book, Road of Ash and Dust, Awakening of a Soul in Africa. They are Chapter 4, Eaten Alive, and Chapter 5, The Blind Harvest. You may encounter some unfamiliar terms such as the compound. I wasn't familiar with what a compound was until I found myself living in one. In West Africa, families and sometimes close relatives will take a plot of land and build a few dwellings on it. Those rooms, sometimes homes, are surrounded by walls. That small, tight-knit community living together, sharing resources, is known as a compound. In the chapters you will read, you will be introduced to the family members of the compound who took me in and treated me as one of their own. You will meet Buba, the father and elder of the compound, and his wife Momina. You will read about Sankum, Buba's son who I shared a room with, and his brother Musa. These two brothers were primarily responsible for teaching me to play the 21-string West African harp, known as the kora. The music you are hearing playing beneath my voice in this video is the sound of the kora. I had first seen the kora back in the 1970s when a television series aired called Roots. I had dreamed of someday possessing and playing this unique harp, and now here I was, in West Africa, learning. I've chosen Proverbs to open each chapter, and I've purposely named each chapter according to my experiences. The selected chapters you are going to be reading involve a lot of pain, suffering, and sacrifice. By the time you finish reading these excerpts, I'd like you to ask yourself if you think that this journey was worth it. I do.